The fluorescent lights of Grandview Market hummed with their sterile glow, reflecting off polished tiles. Evening rush had thinned, leaving behind the faint scent of bread and the shuffle of a few carts. Off-duty Officer Adrian Thorne moved through the aisles with a basket, every step measured. Even without his badge, duty clung to him like a shadow, his eyes, always searching, locked onto a figure near the produce. A man in a dark windbreaker stood too still, phone in hand, gaze sharp, watching rather than shopping. In the swirl of casual motion, his calm was unnatural. Their eyes met, and instinct hit Thorne like a cold hand. Something was wrong. He approached, voice low but edged. "What are you doing here without buying anything?" The man looked up, unbothered. "Nothing." He slid his phone into his pocket with deliberate calm. Thorne's suspicion sharpened. "Show me your credentials." The man reached into his wallet, drew out a card. The aisle fell silent as shoppers slowed, phones lifting, recording. Thorne snatched a glance. A badge gleamed under the harsh lights. Federal Bureau of Investigation. Special Agent Malcolm Reed. "I'm with the FBI," Reed said evenly. "You're interfering with a surveillance operation." Thorne scoffed. "Fake badges are everywhere. You expect me to buy this?" His voice carried, and a murmur rose from the growing crowd. Reed's jaw tightened. "We've been tracking a money launderer for 6 months. You're jeopardizing it." Thorne's lip curled. "If you were real FBI, local police would know. I'm the authority here." The sneer in his tone carried more than doubt. It carried prejudice, stripping Reed of credibility with a single poisoned glance that Reed's anger flickered but stayed buried. "I showed you credentials. You can verify them, but you have no right to undermine federal law." Thorne stepped closer, chest out, voice rising. "My duty is to protect this market, not play errand boy for some fake agent." The quiet snap of Reed's badge closing cut the air like a whip. Then, footsteps that a woman appeared, steady as stone, arms folded. "Agent Thorne," she said, tone precise. "Step back. You're obstructing a federal operation." He sneered. Two strangers in plain clothes, calling themselves agents, sneaking around a supermarket? Sounds like vigilantes. Her gaze didn't waver. "Procedure demands we inform local law." "We should have. But right now, you're standing in the way of stopping an EBT fraud ring that's bled the system dry. We don't have time for your ego." Reed stepped forward, his voice calm but taut with urgency. "Every second you stall, our target slips further away." Thorne's eyes narrowed. "Authority doesn't come from waving a badge in my face. No orders came through my department. Until then, you're just suspects with props." Her stare hardened. "Federal law empowers us once we identify ourselves. You're crossing into obstruction." Phones lifted higher, a dozen silent witnesses. The cheerful music of the market had died, replaced by ragged breathing and the buzz of electricity in the air. Thorne's jaw clenched. Sweat prickled his forehead. His hand twitched toward his holster, then froze when he noticed a wall of phones aimed at him. Tiny glowing screens captured every twitch, every word. The silence was suffocating. Reed and the woman, Agent Simmons, stood calm, statues in plain clothes, their presence steady while Thorne's unraveled. No yelling, no struggle, just the weight of law and composure pressing against his ego. "Step aside," Simmons said, her voice flat, unyielding, "or you'll answer for obstruction of justice." Thorne swallowed, gaze flicking to the crowd, hoping for support. Instead, all he saw were screens. A silent jury. Judgment hanging in the air heavier than any gavel. His shoulders sagged, the performance cracking. He shifted back a step toward the eggs, conceding ground without words. But the moment of stillness was dangerous. Reed knew it. Simmons knew it. The man they were watching had already moved. The dark windbreaker was gone from produce, gone from sight. The agents exchanged the barest glance. Disbelief sharpened into urgency. Thorne followed their eyes, scanning the aisles, but saw only ordinary shoppers, confused and cautious. The target had slipped into camouflage. A curse burned on Reed's tongue, but he swallowed it. They couldn't lose focus now, not with the community's gaze pinned to every move. Thorne straightened suddenly, as if regaining footing. See? Whoever you were tailing is gone. That's what happens when amateurs play cop. Reed stared his eyes. No, that's what happens when ego trumps duty. Simmons cut in sharply. We don't have time for this. The suspect is still here. He's not gone, he's blending. And thanks to this circus, he knows we're onto him. Phones kept filming. A child whispered, "Mom, what's happening?" No answer came. Every face in the crowd reflected tension, curiosity, judgment. But in the shadows of Grandview Market, beyond the reach of cameras, someone else moved. A figure vanishing deeper into the aisles with practiced ease. Thorne, sensing his grip on the moment slipping entirely, clenched his jaw. Fine. Show me this suspect you claim exists. Reed didn't answer. His gaze tracked the far corner, where a glimpse of dark fabric slipped between shelves of cleaning supplies. Too late. The chase had already begun, and the crowd, phones still raised, had no idea they were standing in the middle of something far larger than a supermarket quarrel. The fluorescent lights of Grandview Market hummed, casting their sterile glow over the tiled floor. Off-duty officer Adrian Thorne moved through the aisles with a basket, his instincts sharp as ever. His gaze fell on a man in a dark windbreaker, standing too still, phone in hand, watching. Thorne approached. What are you doing here without buying anything? The man's calm reply, nothing, only deepened his suspicion. When asked for ID, he produced a badge. Special Agent Malcolm Reed, FBI. I'm a federal agent, Reed said. You're interfering with a surveillance operation. Thorne sneered. Fake badges are everywhere. I'm the authority here. His voice rose, prejudice dripping from every word. Phones lifted, recording the tense exchange. Reed's partner, Agent Simmons, appeared. Step back, officer. You're obstructing federal work. Their voices clashed, federal authority against local ego, until Simmons revealed the truth. We're surveilling Vanessa Coleman, mastermind of an EBT fraud ring. She's minutes from meeting her handler. The color drained from Thorne's face. You mean I just blew the sting? Exactly, Simmons said. One rash move cost us surprise. Now she knows. Thorne glanced at the exit, remembering the shadow, slipping away. His chest tightened with guilt. Reed cut in sharply. She's still here. Coleman won't run blind. She'll blend. Simmons met Thorne's eyes. If you want redemption, help us. Quietly, the three split through the aisles. The market, once ordinary, became a stage of whispered suspense. Near the dairy aisle, Simmons spotted her, scarf pulled low, eyes flicking to the doors. Coleman, target heading for side exit, Simmons murmured. Reed moved fast, intercepting her at the fire door. Vanessa Coleman, he said, badge flashing, you're under arrest for federal fraud and money laundering. Coleman froze, then sagged as Simmons snapped cuffs onto her wrists. Shoppers gasped. Phones clicked. Under the fluorescent glow, the empire of fraud ended with a pair of handcuffs. Thorne exhaled, relief mingling with shame. He had almost destroyed the operation, yet his restraint in the final moments salvaged a shred of dignity. Days later, the video of the standoff flooded the internet, sparking national debate over bias, authority, and cooperation. Thorne faced reassignment and mandatory de-escalation training, his ego stripped bare by the court of public opinion. Coleman's network unraveled under forensic scrutiny, over $400,000 laundered through falsified benefits. Reed and Simmons compiled their report, noting both the success and the near-dash failure in a federal conference room. Reed summarized, the difference between success and failure is often 1 second of ego or 1 second of restraint. The Grandview Market incident became more than a case file. It was a lesson etched into every phone that recorded it. True authority isn't measured by volume or suspicion, but by discipline, clarity, and the courage to put justice above pride.